Good evening. Welcome to episode 5 of Classic Touring Car Racing Club TV. Let's bring the main man in himself. It's the Big Dawg. It's Stuart Caie. Good evening, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, my friend. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. It's a bit hot down here tonight, I tell you. But yeah, we're all right.
It's good to be back with you and not disappearing off this time from being in your vicinity this time.
Yes. I think we should start by a little roundup of how you're doing, actually, because a lot of people have asked how you are. So if you let everybody be enlightened, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I am an awful lot better now. Thank you. For those that didn't know, I was blue lighted away when you guys were entertaining me from the commentary box, or in the commentary box, and I had heart problems. But thankfully, I've been told as of yesterday, it's nothing that's going to kill me. I've got lifestyle changes and things I need to be aware of and monitor and what have you. But it's not going to kill me, and it means. Look at this. I'm on the water.
It's right. You get on that water. It's good for you.
It was. I tell you what, though, mate, I actually bought some alcohol-free gin, and I was a bit worried I was going to get struck by lightning buying it. And then I went to pour it tonight, and I just went, don't be a tart. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think I bought some alcohol-free Heineken once, and I think it's still in the cupboard.
It wasn't going to happen, so I've gone with the water. I've got to be very, very sensible. So thank you for asking, mate. Just very quickly, because I know we've got a couple of people coming in and it's just showing Facebook user. If you go to www.streamyard.com, I'm just looking, where can I put it? I'm going to put it in here. So for those of you that are watching it in the group rather than the page, when you do that, you need to grant permission, basically. It's in the details of the show, but I'm just going to put it only to you guys in that group. A little message. I'm pretty sure that I've got the address correct, he says. And for those that want to see it, there you go, streamyard.com/Facebook. It will then just say grant permission, and it will then show your profile. I'm just making sure I've got that correct. Yes, that is the correct address. Do that and it'll get rid of your anonymity, because we want to see who it is. For example, we got another one here. Good evening, Chris. Glad to see that you're on the road to recovery. See you at Coombe in a few weeks from a fuffer lover. Oh. I know who that is. That's Stuart Taylor. I know who that is. Evening, mate. So do that. If you're in the group rather than the page, then you just need to do that, streamyard.com/Facebook, and it just grant permission and it will show your details. We had someone already, Stuart, that dropped in and said, Craig Miller said, we are sad we can't make this with our S2000 Vectra. We're only a few weeks away from the car running for the first time since 2012. Hopefully, if the event is on next year, we'll definitely be there.
Yes, and MSVR have already spoken to me about doing it all again already before they've actually experienced us like all turning up and taking over Brands Hatch for the weekend. But so there is already talks about that happening. So hopefully we will see Craig and his lovely Vectra. In fact, I think he's got two. But yeah.
What's the phrase though? There goes the neighbourhood. That's what it'll be, isn't it?
That's what it'll be like that in the Kensington on Saturday night, that's for sure.
On that note, I mean, all joking aside, it was so wonderful. Many people know Castle Coombe's my home circuit. It's where I fell in love with racing with my dad as a youngster, where I started my commentary career, and so it's the number one place for me. And it was so good to have you guys there, and it just seemed a brilliant weekend from both sides of the fence.
It was, and I think I said to you earlier, whilst we was having that sort of pre-chat, Kat really made us feel massively welcome. I think it run like clockwork. I know I was talking to Colin and Sonia from their side of things. I think they were quite happy of how the whole event ran. I like it. It's like a nice vibe when you go to Castle Coombe. There's a nice sort of calm, vibe of how it should be, how it always was. I think sometimes when you go to race meetings, it's all sort of bang, 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 and then off you go, you're going home. Whereas there, you're encouraged to stay behind and enjoy as many pints of beer that you possibly can.
And silent dancing.
Silent dancing was great. As I said, it was one of the ones where everyone was a little bit sort of looking at it. You know what it's like. I think there's almost that kind of school disco when you're a kid and you sort of creeping towards the dance floor. And the young lady that was running it, I think you mentioned her name earlier. I forget her name. Is it Kat's daughter?
Well, Kat obviously mainly put it on, but Poppy was there looking after it.
Poppy was doing a lot of the stuff, and it was great. Like everyone had got a few beers in, and the kids were dancing around with their headphones on. A few people kind of creeping across to see what everyone was all about, and I enjoyed it. It's something different. Racing, as I've said many times, is 50% racing and 50% social.
Absolutely.
And the social side, I think, is almost 60 or 70% of Castle Combe, and then the racing is something else that happens around it.
Absolutely.
So no, really good. Just felt very welcome, very nice, well-run race meeting. So thank you to everyone down there.
Well, hopefully we'll have you all back again. It was just so good, and this time I'll finish the weekend rather than being.
I was going to say, if you don't mind chipping off halfway through in an ambulance, that'd be great.
I would prefer that, if I'm honest. I tell you what, I've never been in the back of an ambulance with the lights and sirens going, and it was bordering on terrifying, I must say.
These things you do to get out of work.
Well, yeah, exactly. Lazy get. I know. And on that note, by the way, I've got to put this up. Much love to Chris Mason. He's the chief medical dude at Coombe, and him and Emma and the rest of the team really looked after me. As sadly, if any driver's been sent to the medical centre, they'll know how good they are. That water's funny colour, but
it is funny colour water.
Thank you, Chris Mason, and to the rest of the team. That was much appreciated looking after me. Tom Davis says, "Evening, Dawsy. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it." Dan James Proctor says, "Good evening, guys. Good to see you watching, Dan. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you."
Nick Prawn Vaughan, now in the group, not the page. Evening, all.
Yeah, he loves it.
He does. And again, great to hear you're much better now, buddy, from whoever Facebook. Remember, go streamyard.com/Facebook and grant permission and we'll know who you are. But thank you very much. Apologies, mate, because it seems like I'm indulging myself a bit too much here. But thank you for everybody's comments. Everett's Nedlaw.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, I just like the fact that you assumed at discos I was shy and retiring and not really getting up and dancing. That's never been accused. I've never been accused of that.
You went home early. I was so disappointed. I texted you to see where you was on Saturday night, and you went home, didn't you? Watch some telly.
Probably. Well, I was getting in practice for the next day, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good evening. Glad you're okay, Chris. Exciting weekend. Can't wait. Absolutely. Stu Waite. Evening, chaps. Great to see you, well, Dawsy, from Stu Waite. And thank you to Stu Waite. He actually took me back to the circuit on the Tuesday because, of course, everything got left there. My car, my laptop, my bags, my keys, my house keys, everything was just left abandoned at the circuit. And he was very kind enough to pick me up after a meeting he had in Swindon and take me back to the circuit. So thank you, mate. Earlier than my wife wanted me to, but it meant I didn't have to worry about that anymore. A Facebook user, and if you're going to do this again, we'll be able to clarify who that is. Remember, streamyard.com/Facebook and grant permission. But they've said, thanks for all the hard work you've put in to make this event happen. And that's presumably, therefore, Stu, to the whole team.
Yeah, this weekend. Yeah. So everybody, it's been it's been a challenge, that's for sure. But before I go into that, I just wanted to just go back to our little bit. That's before we start with the banter and the stuff about the weekend. Sadly, Pete Winston's wife passed away a couple of weeks ago, Brenda. And we just, from all of us at the CTCRC, wanted to send our condolences to him and his family this time.
Absolutely. And from my side as well, as massive condolences there. And get yourself into the family, because I've seen it time and time again, is that you talk about 50% racing, 50% social. I've seen so many individuals and families go through a difficult time, and getting back into the paddock with the family is that it's amazing to watch everybody come together in situations like that.
Yeah, I did it myself, I did it myself a couple of years ago.
Of course.
Yeah. I know exactly. So Yes, but no, condolences from all of us. Hopefully, we'll see him at the weekend if he wants to come along.
Fabulous. Yep. Hopefully so, Pete. Don't know the answer to this question. Kevin Swan says, where can you view the footage, what they filmed at Coombe?
There was no footage. It was magical, and you had to go. There's no...
Yeah.
Sadly, at Castle Coombe, there was no footage taken and no cameras. If you wanted to go, you had to sit on the bank and with your flask of tea and watch it. Sadly,
it's the best place. The best
best place for me is at Quarry. And going on actually this weekend, only Sunday will be streamed live from Brands Hatch. Because of the sheer cost it is to film the Grand Prix circuit, it will just be the Indy on the Sunday that will be on the live stream, and I'll send all that out tomorrow once I get my life together.
Yeah, yeah. You can pick one of your jobs tomorrow, mate. That's fine.
One of my jobs. Yes, it's special water.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll help you. Lynn Bates says, "Good evening to you both. Can we go back to Castle Coombe next year?"
We were talking about that today, weren't we?
Yep.
We were talking about that today because they've got anything is possible. In fact, I was talking to my good friend Mr. Gary Fletcher today about sometimes I feel, I've said this before, sometimes I feel that the club loses, we've got these big events, you're at Silverstone and you're in the Grand Prix circuit and all this business. But we're just as happy at Mallory or just as happy at Castle Coombe. A smaller circuit with that more friendly, that's kind of who we are, really. So I see no reason why we wouldn't. Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, I said to my wife when we were sitting there, I said I could race here all the time. I just come here all the time. But anyway, that was another story for another day.
The desire's there, isn't it? That's the easy comment to make on that.
Yeah, I think so. There's it's just I like the vibe that's there. I've always have. I will always make the effort to make sure I go to Coombe when we've got them rounds. And I just like the vibe and the people and that part of the world.
Hopefully people will see that compliment from Coombe, and hopefully we will see you guys back again.
I've got a discount.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely comment from my dad. He's watching. So the best feeling for me to see my son, the voice of Coombe, back fully operational in the seat. He said Coombe TV, but obviously tonight this is Classic Touring Car Racing Club TV. Right. Love you, son, and so proud of you. You really are a winner. Bless you. Thank you, Dad. Because that was obviously quite a shock for those guys to get the message from my wife that I was in hospital.
That can never be nice for any parent, can it?
No, exactly right. Bless you, Dad. Clint the Charmers, evening all. Glad you're all well and feeling better. Chris Mason says, you're welcome, just don't do it again. Tom Davies says, great weekend of racing. So many highlights from the weekend. It really was. And on that note, I'm going to very quickly share. Let's have a look at this. That's the way around I want to go. I mean, the photographs of, the cars, the grid's absolutely full with a fantastic array of cars. Just amazing sights. And I only got a chance to sort of pick up from a couple of the championships, some of the, photos of the fantastic cars, the bumper grids that you guys bought. And it's fair to say, Stuart, that the crowd were absolutely waxing lyrical about the cars in your portfolio of championships.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have people come round and, general public come round and have a chat and ask us about the cars. It's really lovely. As I said before, very chilled vibe. And long may it last.
And it was the first race meet where the new track limits rules came in as well, I see. I had to include that. Yeah, I had to include that because it was funny, genuinely, is that we had all hell breaking loose because the new rules, or the tweak to the rule, shall we say, came in on that weekend, and everybody was up in arms saying it's going to be a nightmare, and it wasn't. It was absolutely fine.
No.
I don't think there was any real penalties for track limits, so that's good. Ross Craig, thank you very much for that, mate. Evening all, glad you're on the mend. Evening, gents. Look forward to the weekend. This is a good question. Tom Davis said, "What happened to the motor, Stuart? Remember you were entered, but don't think I saw you on track." And of course, that should have been the Capri.
Bits didn't turn up on time. I needed a pair of front discs, and they never turned up on time, and that was that. So we came along to the race meeting and just enjoyed the surroundings and watched everybody. I think you commentated on me sitting in my chair. You did. You did. Someone said to me, "It's Stuart Caie sitting over there in the deck chair."
I was
watching the world go by. It was lovely.
You weren't listening to my commentary. That summed up for me as well, mate.
I couldn't hear it because I'm mutton. You know that.
Well, fair dues. Yeah, Kevin Swaz, a nice young lady, came and interviewed me with my best Fen twang, whatever that is. That will probably be on the Castle Coombe Instagram page.
It was the same young lady that interviewed me that I sent them over to see Kevin because I said he was very friendly.
Fair dues. Well, he proved that one. Stu Waite says, Coombe was one of the first tracks I ever went to with my dad as a kid. They define a club meeting. I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Unsurprisingly, with those photos coming up, Aaron Maltby says that Texaco Cosworth classic livery. Yep, there's a few of those in your stable, isn't there? Some of the classic liveried Sierra Cosworths.
Yeah, there's some lovely stuff. There's some lovely cars in the club, and this weekend you'll see even more. To be honest with you, we've got some of the original RS 500s coming along to Brands Hatch. So there's some prop bits of kit out there this weekend.
A couple more messages just quickly get through. Good evening. Looking forward to my first event with you. Again, streamyard.com/Facebook, and we'll be able to see who you are once you grant permission. Hi, Chris and Stuart. Really enjoyed the Coombe weekend. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
A particular team, and I did put it on, but I've changed it. 0 something Racing. Looking forward to having 3 Mark III Escorts on the grid. Good. Like the sound of that. Jonathan Bevan says, evening all, really looking forward to this weekend. And the photographer, that's what I class him as, the photographer, John Creech says, love the Cadbury's livery. I agree. I love that one as well. So some absolute classics. Just quickly, thank you for the love, AJ Owen, and likes from Aaron Maltby, Barry Syme, Kevin Swan, and Andy Wilson. So keep the likes, the loves, the shares. Get in with your questions and your comments. But let's get on with the actual crust of it. So, Castle Coombe, we've done the thanks for Castle Coombe. Some great performances from the drivers.
The ones the brands.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, go to tsl-timing.com and you'll be able to see all of the results. And it's easy me trying to sort of pick through it, but well done to all of the victors. And the championship points update. Not on the website yet, are they? I've got.
No, they're not. No, they came through the other day. We were just checking them, to be honest with you, which is why they're not official just yet. But
that's fine. Yeah. So when they're ready, you'll be able to have a look at that. That's just building up, frankly, for me, ready to host the awards. That's the main thing. Everybody wants a party, and we're going to make sure we have one. So I look forward to that. Okay. Quick comment that you wanted to make, just to sort of help. The mental health of the committee.
Yeah. It was just from my perspective, there's been recently a few drivers commenting and contacting committee members sort of out of business hours, and I just like to remind people that we are all volunteers. We don't get paid for this. None of us do, and in fact, nobody I think involved in any part of the club gets paid. And just remember that when you're ringing someone at 10:30 at night asking for a race entry, it needs to sort of calm down a little bit. I know everyone's excited about the weekend. I am as well, but everyone needs to just chill out a little bit and remember that people have their own lives, their own families, and if you're contacting people of an evening or weekend, it may not be that welcome. So please keep contact during business hours, please, on the club phone or via the enquiries email.
Absolutely. Yeah, good comment. And thanks, guys. And thank you for all of the volunteers that help make this happen. And as well as thanking you guys are thanking all of the drivers for their support that they've given you over the last 6 to 8 years with an incredible deal for this weekend.
Yeah, so the race entries for this weekend should have been £825. What we've done is charged 575, which I know is still, it's quite a lot of money for most people. But we wanted to thank everybody. For us, this is like a defining moment. We've got Brands Hatch, the whole place pretty much. Although someone's bunged some MX5s on, but we won't worry about that. But pretty much the whole place all weekend to have a massive party and a massive celebration. And people need to understand that us as a committee are saying thank you to the drivers. It's why we've discounted it so much. So everybody across the board has got a huge discount for this one meeting.
Yeah, 250 quid per driver. I mean, that's a
it's
whopper.
250. Yeah, 250 quid a driver. Just to say thank you. It's been a long time coming. A lot of people over the years have worked very, very hard to get the club to this point. I should also thank MSVR that actually came over. David Willey at MSVR, who came and spoke to me last Easter about this meeting. And I remember kind of running back, grabbing Colin and going, "They've offered us the Grand Prix all weekend." But, all excited because for us, when we first got involved in the club, we were kind of treated like the sort of good old boys, and we were given all these sort of circuits that no one really wanted and timetables nobody really wanted. And we've got to a point now where people are loving or seeing what we do and loving it. Whether it's the right club at the right time and that retro whole feel people are buying into, I don't know, but it's a big thing. So we decided to heavily discount this meeting and thank everybody involved, and that's why it's priced at 575 and not 825.
And I have to say, for people who don't necessarily know this, is not only is it about, you guys have got this event, it's centering around you and on both the Indy circuit and the full GP circuit. MSVR, when they do these event meets, as I call them, rather than just race meets, they're full event meetings. And this, of course, is Super Touring Power. And they've been pushing it hard, haven't they, on social? I'm very lucky is that I'm on the commentary team for a lot of their events meetings, such as Speedfest, Minifest, Deutschfest, Festival Italia, all of these things. They put on one hell of a show. I know you've been on the spectating side for like Speedfest, for example, haven't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it was. I remember the initial meeting having sitting in the big glass building, as you do when you go and visit MSVR, and one of my requests was a fun fair, and we have a fun fair. So you've made it when you've got a fun fair. But they are, what, they've gone so far and above everything. There's so many nice surprises happening for all the drivers, not just the Super Tour people. People involved in all championships. There's a live stage. There'll be people. Autosport are going to be there with their live stage, which is like you have at the Autosport show at Birmingham when they're up there having a chat about the championships. I will be speaking to championship coordinators over the next couple of days to get them up there if they're not too shy. And it's inclusive of everybody. This is about everybody in a celebration of the club. And we've just this evening, actually, David sent me through the invitation for all drivers to the drinks reception at the Kensington at 7:00 on Saturday night. So all drivers will be welcome up there, and of course friends and family and whoever else is tagging along. We all there's going to be a huge party. I asked for a DJ, so we've got a DJ on Saturday night. So we're going to have a big old party. Hopefully the weather holds out so we can all be out the back and standing out in the grass having a chat. And there's some real nice things happening at the weekend. So there's a lot of people at the moment that are getting edgy because no one really knows. It's almost like that build up to a wedding where someone's like, "Oh, I've not got the matches," and it's like you're still going to get married anyway. It's just because you haven't got the bloody matches, you're still going to get married. And it's that kind of edginess where everyone's a bit worried about what's going to happen. It'll be the best weekend we've had.
It will. And I tell you now, you're going to have lots of fans there that are going to be watching it, which is just a wonderful feeling. I meant to look. Have you got? Yeah, you got even spectator grid walks as well.
Yeah, so we've got
Both days.
spectator grid walks. We've got people going around public going around the garages. As I said, we've got the live stage. We've got MSVR have spent a fortune actually buying PlayStation 2s and
I
Toka
saw
2.
that. Yeah.
And they have like, so this was David, right? So they've got a truck where you can get up in the truck and play Toka 2 on the PlayStation 2, as we did when we were kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I saw that only today that they've gone out, and where the hell they've managed to source that many of
eBay
the
bought them off,
games.
they set them on eBay. They bought them off eBay. I was in a
Amazing.
meeting when there was a discussion about where they get them from. And let's not forget, the car show and a demo run. Peter Steele has put a huge amount of effort into getting cars in for the demo run. So people that have original cars that don't want to race them, etc. Jonathan Bevan, who's watching this now, Jonathan's got some lovely original cars that he spent a fortune restoring. Obviously, he doesn't want to race them round and round, but it's wonderful that he's bringing them along to show people these cars, and they'll be parked up along. Is it called Colin Chapman Way? The bit where the shops are there. You all know at Brands, that's where the shops are. They'll be along there. And there'll be everything from Super Tourers to Group 1 cars, Group 2, everything in between. There's some lovely, lovely old stuff up there.
Which is worth just very quickly. Where's it gone? I think it's easier if I just share screen 2, and I'm going to just show. Oh, I didn't open it up. I thought I had done.
So P45.
Yeah, I'm doing a good job of doing that now. There we go. I knew I'd.
There we are. There we are. Mate.
So yeah, we've got. Hang on, let me do the screen properly. I can't even see my blooming mouse now. There we go. There we go. Slick as ever. Yeah, because along the Colin Chapman Way here, you see there's no parking because there's going to be stuff going on all the way along there. So there's no access at the main entrance to drive along here.
No,
Look at this
nothing.
crowd. You're gonna have this level of crowd there, mate. I'm telling you.
It's quite remarkable, actually. It's more than we ever imagined.
It's going to be amazing. So yeah, everybody that's obviously you've got the lower paddock down here as well as the garages, and it will be in through Scratches Lane. I'm sure you've done it. Officials, team, and competitors, they're parked the opposite side of the road over here. Sometimes you get to go in this bit here as well, actually, but I'm not sure. But it's just worth bearing in mind. And no private vehicles down here, so you need to make sure that's. And the reason being is, as you've just been explaining, Stuart, is that it's because there's loads going on over this weekend.
Yeah, the reason you can't, they don't want people. So the stuff we see on Colin Chapman Way is those cars will be moving. So when they do the demo runs, they're going to enter the circuit via the ambulance gate, which is next to the grandstand, by the top of outside the Kentagon, basically opposite you. There's a gate, and you go on that way. And so they're going to bring the cars on and off via that, which is why they want to keep all that free. But there's cars all the way up that, and I think it's a huge amount of private show cars. I think it's like 200 cars or something that are coming along. Classic cars. If you've got a pre-2000 car and you signed up, you can park up and be part of it.
Exactly.
It's quite remarkable, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a fantastic event. Nicholas Bosch says, my Seat Sport Toledo S2000.
And Nicholas as well. He will be part of the demonstration and the show. So.
Incidentally, by the way, Nick Mizzen said he enjoyed his time racing with you guys at Coombe as well. So
it was lovely to meet him at last. What a lovely man! What a lovely man!
Yeah. Absolutely. He's another one where the motor racing family came around him with some trials and tribulations. Another one to just quickly share then is, let me go to that, and I'm going to bring up I've got to do this, because this is just amazing to see the drivers that are going to be there. Been gradually released over time, hasn't it? So you got Alan Menu's going to actually be there.
Yes,
Tim Harvey.
all the drivers on here will be there.
Yeah, Tim Harvey,
Yeah.
Anthony Reid, of course. Obviously, he's been racing with you guys for a little while, and he was the special guest at the awards earlier this year, of course, wasn't it? Paul Radisich, I saw him just sort of like casually on the entry list to race in the Super Tourers as well.
It will be. There was AJ Owen and I have a joke about this, because for us, it's, you know, we're going to be in that race. And to say that we had a race against Paul Radisich, you know, it's quite remarkable, to be honest. So.
Well, I mean, I've been hearing that that everybody's getting excited that Stuart Caie and AJ Owen are on the autographs table.
Oh yes, of course, of course. We've been joking about that for months, but yeah, we will. Even just so our kids can see us, that's for sure.
I'm waiting for Brands Hatch to actually publicise that one. They haven't done that yet.
I'm waiting. It's a last-minute surprise.
Absolutely. Andy Rouse, Steve Soper. If I jump up to here for a second as well, Jeff Allen, Charlie Cox, who of course was also another one of the voices of touring cars. Greg Murphy, the V8 Supercars racer.
He won McGrath Bathurst 4 times.
Wow.
I know. So he's coming over. I think the guys will land today. I think the cars are already at Brands from New Zealand. They arrived in some containers Monday, I think. But yeah, these guys, the owners of the cars, are not even racing their own cars. They've got their celebrity pals to race their cars for them. So it will be interesting because these guys have raced. Greg Murphy's raced the one of the cars previously, so he has experience of it. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes with Jake Hill and the rest of them. I'm just going to sit at the back of the old Cavalier. We're just going to talk around. I've got an Oasis cassette to put on, and I'm just going to drive around like it's the 90s. But these guys are going to go for it. They are really going to go for it.
Absolutely.
It'd be very good to see.
It's just mind blowing. It really is just so special. A lovely comment there actually is that I'm going to put it up. John Creech says Charlie Cox and Chris Dawes in a comms box. That would be fun, because he'll happily doesn't mince his words.
No, he doesn't.
Steve Richards, another V8 Supercars dude. Fluxy as well.
Yep.
Got his new book out at the moment. I won't say the title. Wait, I've got to read that because there's a lot of untold stories in there. Chris Hodgetts as well, and then we've got the new breed as well. Ash Sutton, Jake Hill, Dan Camish are all there as well. I mean, it's just a wonderful mix.
They are. So it's quite interesting because Ash Sutton was going to do the demonstration runs, but they're not allowed to go and to do the demo runs on the Grand Prix on the Saturday because it's like a recce, because no one really gets to do demo runs on any testing on the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So he's just doing the Sunday, which is great, and we really appreciate him coming along. So he'll be out at lunchtime, burning around in his Ford Focus.
Interesting question from Stuart. Where's John Cleland?
He couldn't make it. You know, he was up for it all the way through, and he had some business commitments, and was genuinely quite choked that he couldn't make it. But he has to. He has prior commitments that are more important than driving around for a change. So
yeah, I thought it would have been.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I thought it would have been, because I remember commentating on you guys at the beginning of last year at Silverstone, and he was racing there, and the pit lane interview afterwards, he was just buzzing. The race that he'd had with the likes of Anthony Reid and what have you, they just suddenly they regressed back to their youth when I was interviewing them. It was just wonderful to watch.
It was a real shame. He pulled out 2 or 3 weeks ago. As I say, for sort of personal reasons, really, that I won't go into. But yeah, he couldn't do it. But there's always next year.
Absolutely. We've also, the Englishman says, can't wait. Sophie Owen says, don't get me started on AJ Owen's autographing sessions. The amount of trouble I've had at work getting the photograph done for AJ with his 2 new Sharpie pens.
I texted him the other day and said, have you got your pens ready? And he just sent me a picture of his palm out with Sharpies in it.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He's
Well,
brilliant. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to do it.
He's even said he's got his wrist in ice in preparation for all the autographs.
Yeah, it will be good.
But apparently Sophie got, she asked for A5 pictures, but she's got A3. So big autographs, AJ, big autographs. It's going to be brilliant. Okay, so I mean, it's just mind-blowing.
That's a good point, actually. What we've done, he's got the Super Tourer picture that's MSVR created, and we've had about 400 posters done. So we'll give those out, and that will be what everybody signs.
Oh, brilliant! That'll be good. I don't think I saved it, but I love on the Brands Hatch post where it's got all the photographs of all the cars that are going to be there as well. The little spotter's guide of the Super Tourers.
It's
just
nice. They've put a lot of effort into it.
They really
and
have.
Hopefully people will turn up. You know, I know they sold a lot of pre-sale tickets, but you never know till the day, do you?
No, absolutely. Think a number of things that we have to do, because we've always said, as well as having fun and getting excited about the race, is to make sure everybody's got all the information. You have to sign on the MSV system.
Absolutely. We sent out the finals the other day, but you need to sign on the MSVR system, not the Bark system. If you have, then I ask that you please sign in again on the MSVR system. And sorry that we were not clear enough at the beginning that you shouldn't sign on the Bark system.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm just going to quickly, for everybody who needs this, I'm just putting the link that's posting out to everybody.
There you are.
There's the confusing link, or to get the. Hang on, let me just come back out of that. Because there's a slightly, just go to MSVR website and you'll see that it's got the msvr.co.uk/car and then events, and then you'll pick this particular super touring power, and then you'll be able to say competitors sign in. There's a nice clear button there that you'll click to sign in, and then that's it, job done, simple as that. And you know, they do make it. In fact, I'm going to share the screen.
There you go. You should see that. And as Sonia has just said, as she just texts me, as she reminds me of things throughout the meeting, every driver needs to attend the driver's briefing, and every single car will be scrutineered. There will not be, as before, we've had the 20%, 25% rule, won't they? Every car will be scrutineered.
Okay.
So you need to look at the finals, because there's a lot of detail in there. There's different for the Super Tourers and the rest of the club. Parc Fermé will be for the rest of the guys where it was before, which was in the outer paddock, because you know you go through the tunnel and out, and in the gated bit that you sort of pen that they put you in, that's Parc Fermé. But yeah, it's critical that everybody attends the drivers' briefings. If you don't, you will be fined.
Okay.
So it's very clear. Andrew, who has our clerk of the course, has made it very clear. Does a wonderful job and looks after everyone and keeps everybody nice and safe, which is what is the key to everything. Safety is everything. And this meeting is a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, so people need to be in different places at different times. And so you all have to attend the drivers' briefings without compromise.
And that's on the timetable normally, isn't it? When those
it's on the timetable. There was a slight. I think Andrew sent an email earlier saying that the update hadn't gone on, but it will be on there tomorrow. It just tells you where you need to be, because there was a slight clash with 66 and 83, and they're qualifying. I think it was like within 5 minutes, and it didn't work. So they've moved that around. So please keep an eye on the documentation. It's very critical. If you read it, you'll understand everything that's going to happen in your life from Saturday morning till Sunday evening.
And if you go to msvr.co.uk, I think that's because they've just redone their website, msvr.co.uk, and you click on your event, it will also have updates will be appearing there that will show any amendments to program, including timetable changes if there was any, and all your results, judicial results, and it'll just keep updating on that bulletin board for you to all be able to see nice and clear. But that's also where you sign on. The updated timetable will be there as soon as possible. Nick Vaughan says I've signed on both.
Well, he's
Good
keen,
man.
isn't he? Very keen.
Yeah,
That's good to see. Good to see.
yeah, exactly. So that's good. Whilst they're talking about all of that, Richard Wheeler said he's taken some of those posters home. That's all he cared about.
He loves a poster. I think I've got some special posters for him.
Yeah, I love this. I don't know who it is, but evening guys, will be there Sunday. Tickets purchased ages ago. Haven't looked forward to a race meeting this much for 25 years. That's a lovely compliment, isn't it?
It's nice. It is nice, and it's. I think for me, once I sit down on Sunday night and have a cup of tea and take in what happened and how it all happened, then it will be real. But at the moment, we're just barreling through everything.
Yeah.
I've got Jason Hughes texting me now saying he hasn't got his tickets. It's like, I'll get your tickets, Jason. Yeah.
And it should be, that was another key point, wasn't it? That everybody should be getting 4 tickets. They should ideally have received them already.
They should have done. If they haven't, then we need to go to MSVR and just get them resent. It might be a problem with the email address. And we'll fix it. I mean, the tickets, it sounds silly, but tickets is a big thing to people because they worry they're not going to get in.
And it's easy, isn't it? Because they're e-tickets from MSV always.
Yeah, but, sometimes there might be a dot or a space in an email address or something, as it's been typed or copied.
Yeah.
It will be resolved. Everybody will get in. Don't worry. You've all got my number. You've all got details about to get. You've got a racing car on the back of your trailer. You'll get in.
Yeah.
It's. I know people do worry about things like that. I'm a bit blasé about it all. I just am. But I know it's very important to some people, so I do understand. But we'll get everybody in, and everyone will have a wonderful time.
It will. Let them know, because it's not something sent in the post. It is an e-ticket, so it's all nice and straightforward. The Englishman says, very much looking forward to seeing the 850 Volvo. I'll be in my T5 Volvo on Sunday. Many thanks to everyone who keeps this amazing event alive.
There you go. That's lovely comment.
Gary Fletcher says, I think I've signed on, but I'm not that good at the IT malarkey.
Oh, don't. Oh, Fletcher.
You can make a sitcom out of that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but no, on the MSVR one, it's get yourself signed in on there, because they will not let us run. If we say you've signed on the Bark one, they don't care. So we need to make sure it's on the MSVR one.
And it is right.
It's only Wednesday,
Yeah, exactly. And it is right, because they don't get visibility of the Bark one, so that doesn't. No. It means that they're not complying with all the regs that they have to as well. Yeah. If you check your emails for race numbers as well, because there will be clashes where mixed grids and things like that.
There's a couple of bits with that. Holly's been working on that today with Dave Whedon. There's a few people that have gone from whatever it is and put a 1 in front of them or at the other end. So that clashes should be resolved in the next day or so. The actual real clashes are the people that are number 1, because everybody wants to run as number 1.
Yeah.
So, and it's a shame, because I think, looking at it now, we could have probably run them as all individual grids, but at the time of booking it, we didn't realise that quite how many people would turn up. It's crazy. So maybe next year we'll work to get them on their own grids and not amalgamated, because none of us like amalgamated, but it is what it is.
And that's a key phrase, just to pick up from someone on the outside here, is that this is a grower. This event is a grower.
Yeah, it's grower, not a shower. It's next year we are going to have another go at doing it again. As I said, David quite openly said on a call last week that they want some longevity of this, the same way that we've got American Speedfest, etc. This is the first one. This is not the one. It's the first one. And hopefully, long may it last.
Yeah.
You know,
And MSVR do stick to sort of like trying to repeat these festivals, and they'll sort of like grow and they'll make their side even bigger and better. And I just think it's a match made in heaven. It really is.
no, it's lovely. It really is nice. And as I say, the effort that they put in, we put in, everyone's put in, you know, and as Malcolm has put on there, the work that Malcolm puts in, you know, making sure, keeping me in check because he's the club treasurer. You know, everybody's part of this, from the camera people to, you know, Colin and Sonia running the meeting with Adam and everyone. You know, I can't thank everyone enough.
No, agreed. And as he says, a lot of hard work goes on behind the scenes. We all need to remember that, and absolutely. And from our spectators' point of view, I always say thanks for putting on an event, and thanks to the drivers for bringing these amazing cars out to entertain us as well. It's just incredible. Decals, if you haven't got decals, they're available from the Classic Touring Car Racing Club HQ,
Yeah,
which is going to be in garages 3 and 4, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm in garage 3. I've got the garage 3 and 4 from tomorrow night because I've put the Cavalier in there. Obviously, as everyone knows, Colin looks after my car anyway. So with Colin's there, then Sonia will be there, and then if Adam will be there if I'm there. So we're going to set ourselves up in garage 3. There are some. Sonia might want to just text me and let me know if the cups have arrived, but there are some some bits and bobs for people to come and collect just to commemorate the event. It's just a little something from us to thank drivers for coming along. But yeah, we'll be in garage 3 and 4 with the stickers. You know, we would like the cars to be stickered as best we can. I always like to. I know it's a bit of a waste if someone's just a weekend member. It shouldn't say just a weekend member, but this is such a big event. Look at that. Sonny's texted me now. There we go. I'm picking them up Friday. There you go. So we've got some presents for every driver. So if they come along to Garage 3, they will get a little present on Saturday or Sunday if they come and visit us.
Absolutely amazing.
But yeah, you know, we've got the stickers there. So we would like people to wear the stickers on the cars. I think it's important, you know, even if someone's a weekend member. I've said this before, and it's something I get quite caught up in. Is I have to go and ask you, whoever, for money every year and say, Chris, will you sponsor my club for the sum of blah 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 blah? I know you're running this little business and this web thing on your own, and you're really trying hard, but I know you gave me a sticker and I appreciate it. Will you give me another 500 quid? Right? It's a big deal. You've given me 500 quid. Now, I think the least a driver can do is put that sticker on their car, because I've gone out and got them the money so they can get a trophy or a cup or a T-shirt or a whatever. And sometimes when drivers say, well, I'm not putting stickers on my car, and I think, well, I take that as a personal insult because I've gone out and done something for them. So the least they can do is put a bloody sticker on their car. So for me, I'd like to see the cars with the stickers on. I know at times it's a waste because people put them on and they go and race for another club, etc., etc. But I would like to see this weekend the cars decorated correctly, because
I think that's the thing.
And it'll be everywhere. It'll be photographs all over the place.
Some lovely photos and everything is going to be all over social, and I think it's worth it. You know, make yourself part of the team, support the sponsors. You see in the background of this show, I have the sponsors board to really try to shout out to all of the sponsors that are helping all this year, and thank you again to all of those sponsors for everything you do. So yeah, absolutely. Go to garages 3 and 4. 3 or 4 to get those decals, and please get them on. Let's make this thing look absolutely amazing. This is just a big show. It's going to be good. Hence people are going, I cannot wait. You've got Robert O'Keefe says, I'm looking forward to it. Love the old tin top racing, especially RS 500. Rick McLeod says, love the series and cannot wait for this weekend. Thanks for all your hard work. Tom Davies, one of our Orange Army, genuinely can't wait for this. Going to be my favourite meeting to marshal at this year. Sophie Owen of the Owen family says, I'm excited. History will be made.
I keep getting told off for that. So I wrote that at the bottom of the club email saying this is history. It kept saying this is history. And Mark Chollerton said to me, he said, why do you keep writing this is history? I said, because in 1996, Liam Gallagher walked out of Nebworth and said, this is history. That's why I did it. So there you are. That's why I said this is history.
But it's true. It's gonna be absolutely epic. Chris Savage, do you think these touring car legends will know what track limits mean?
Possibly not. We're not. I think it's going to be a busy day. A busy day for my good friend Colin. That's for sure.
John Creech says, so much effort put into this. The biggest dilemma is deciding which day to come up and watch as a spectator.
Well, John, you should come both days.
Absolutely, you should, mate. You know it. You know it. Stuart says, as per the regulations, stickers should be on to score points.
Indeed, yes, but also as well, like weekend members don't necessarily need to wear the stickers, but at times I'd like them to, just so the cars look nice.
Yeah.
Sonny just pinged me, as she does, always through the show to keep me in check. So I should thank Brian Branson and Jez Sapra, who have put up the money for the trophies this meeting.
Wow.
They're sponsoring us, and we really, really do appreciate them coming forward and doing that for us, because at times it's weird because so much focus is on the track time and getting the money back and not losing money that you forget that actually there's 800 quid worth of trophies, or whatever it is that at a particular meeting. It's a lot of money. We do try and do our best to manage the money with the trophies, but it is a big chunk of cash. So they've kindly come forward, and thank you from all of us.
Oh wow, good on you guys. I love those two. They just always race in everywhere. I'm sure there is more than one of both of them, because I'm sure they're at multiple circuits on the same days.
It's insane, but their enthusiasm's great. And I wish to see how enthusiastic they are. They just want to race cars. Well, they don't want any of the politics, any of the. They just want to race cars, and that's beautiful.
They are wonderful guys. I have such a good laugh with them. They really are. Peter Steele says it's going to be getting bigger. Someone also said nice to run the GP circuit too. Absolutely. Paul Eaton says the excitement is building for a fantastic meeting, both racing wise and enjoying the company of like-minded people.
Yeah, Paul's. Paul. I spoke to Paul the other day on the phone. He's going above and beyond. I think Abby is racing at Spa this weekend, and she's flying home Saturday night to race at Brands on Sunday in Paul, her dad's car. And we spoke about her doing a chat on the sort of live piece that Autosport are doing. So we're going to get her involved in that, and sort of promote Classic Thunder, which Paul is a keen supporter of. So.
And that is amazing. And I have to also say massive thank you to Abby, bless her. She dropped me a private message with my heart issue that went on with not just get well soon, but with some advice from how I can get it monitored as well. So thank you. That was lovely of you to take the time, Abby, and so cool to see that you're coming back. She's an absolute gem. A national treasure is Abby Eaton, to be fair.
She absolutely wiped the floor of everybody in the wet at Brands in April. It's incredible. It was one of them races that you kind of stop and watch. How she was it was fantastic to watch her go around. I don't know how she did it, but yeah, incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, what was it? Form is temporary, class is permanent, that kind of thing, isn't it? And you just go, where do they pull that out from?
Just around the outside of paddock in the wet.
Wow. In what must be a heavy car, surely.
It's gotta be, yeah, I know what my Mustang's like, and it's I'm sure they've got that car set up, but wowzers, that was brilliant.
It really, really was. So Funfair is going to be there, party on the Saturday night from 7 p.m. All sorts going on to get yourself involved in. The grids, I mean, they're looking outstanding, aren't they?
Oh, right, I know. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Normally, I have to say that when I first sort of booked this and were discussing it with the committee, there was a few eyebrows raised when we realised we needed about 170 cars to get our money back. And we've done it, and I just can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe how many people have turned up. I didn't think for a second. In fact, only 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were something like 60 cars short, and it just exploded. People came back from, we came out the Castle Coombe meeting, and it just exploded. And my wife, I have to say thank you to my wife Holly, who's been processing all these memberships like they're going out of fashion, because people have been joining numbers, addresses. I want to share my car with Chris Dawes. Chris Dawes wants to share the Capri with me. All this other stuff. She's done an absolutely incredible job. And I don't thank her enough for what she does for me and the club.
I've even noticed here as well, John Hutchison and John Hutchison Jr. That, of course, John Hutchison Jr. Works for Bark, doesn't he, as well?
He does indeed. Yes, I saw that.
And
Yes.
racing with his dad. That's really cool. I don't
Snuck
think
in
they've done that for a
in
little
his
while.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just sort of going through because there's like so many to see that are racing. It's absolutely amazing.
I should add the Pre-83 grid is well, that needs to change because Don's got the wrong car on that. But I forgot to enter. I forgot to enter
it's
my
his
own
old
race.
one.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I forgot to enter my own race. So I said to Colin, and he said, "So I'll be on the reserve list."
Yeah, because there is reserves, isn't there? I don't know whether there was something specific that needed to be saying, but there was a comment
No,
about
there's not.
grids.
There's not at the moment. I think we're trying to juggle people around. There's a few people that haven't paid, who are clearly not going to come, that have not rung us back or told us that they're not coming, which are holding grid space for people that would like to do the race. And but no, I think we'll get most people on. I think we'll get most people on, and the people that are reserves have been spoken to.
Fair enough. Incidentally, by the way, I see that Paul and Abby Eaton there in the number 50 in their Holden Commodore. And Paul says, from following her exploits there, my credit card took a hit for new wets. It's only money. So she destroyed those wets. Amazing.
The richest man in the graveyard anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Davis says, the thing that's topping this off is having Alan Hyde on commentary. I know it's gutted because it should have been me and Alan Hyde doing the commentary. But I'm away on a personal weekend celebrating a dear friend's 50th, and yeah, I'm missing out. But Alan Hyde, of course, he is Mr. British Touring Cars at the end of the day, isn't he?
Yeah.
The voice of. I've also noticed on this screen as well, Rod Burley's entered in the Classic Thunder. That's a guy that knows that circuit quite well.
He'll do well when the old Rod.
I think so.
It's always good to watch.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But you know what? You look at some of the other guys that are on there. You've got
the Holdens
Alex
are back
is
out.
on there. Andy Wilson's on there. Clive has spent God knows how long developing his new car and the new engine in his car. There's some quick people out there that can drive. It'll be a very good race to watch.
Just incredible. The Jaguars, they provided some great entertainment to commentate on at Castle Coombe.
Yeah, it's a shame there wasn't as many this time. There's a few cars that are broken. A few people have got other personal things to go on. But they'll be back at Croft, our next meeting, and we try and get them out on a grid. Yeah, it's a funny one. I wasn't expecting that to be the low grid, to be honest with you, but there we are.
No, that's fine. I mean, these things peak and trough.
Well, it sort of swings. Yeah, you say peaks and troughs, and it's what it is.
Bingo bango. I thought we were going into cliches then. I mean, just look at those images of the cars. I mean, it's just incredible just to see. And I love the fact that we got the full, array of them, like the Mazda there as well. Plenty of the Mondeos. You actually out in your Vauxhall, and you haven't been out in that properly, have you yet?
No, I've done 4 laps in it of Goodwood, and that's it. So we're testing it on Friday. That wasn't as hard as
you wanted to drive it, was it?
Oh no, it wasn't. No, because I couldn't work out where the gear shifter went. But because you change gears, column shifts, you change gear away from you, so you push it away to go up, and then into. Anyway, it's messed me head up.
Wow.
So that's Friday testing. We'll try not to blow it up or crash it, and we'll be in the race. But there's some lovely, there's some lovely stuff out there.
I mean, I'm loving that. Greg Murphy, I know it said he was in Matt Neal's, but I remember that Matt Neal, that's where he really burst onto the scene in that 77 car there, as an independent, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. He won a huge amount of money at Donington.
Yeah.
And I think after that, because I watched one of the stories that was that Nissan were providing the engines or works engines to him, and after that, the car never. After he won and beat the works cars, the car never quite went as well as it should have done.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, there's some lovely cars. Nigel's Honda Accord. I don't think it's ever raced in the UK as a Super Tour. I think it raced elsewhere. There's a slightly different spec, different bumpers, and all the rest of it. Just wonderful. Adam Woods, he just bought that car. He bought that
oh,
car
really?
4 months ago. That is his first ever race.
Wow.
He's got a novice cross in the back of that car. So that used to race in the what was it called? VTEC Challenge, I believe.
Oh,
That
okay.
is the original car. It's normally aspirated 2 litre on throttle bodies now, as it should be. But it's his first, and a great guy, very keen to race. Yeah, just some nice stuff, just stuff that you don't see, and yeah, it just be cool, wouldn't it? It just be. I think there's that moment when you come underneath the bridge, our brains. If you've been out the Grand Prix, and the safety car lights go off, and everyone's trundling round together, and you think, "This is
Yes.
it. This is when the old butterflies come in," and you think, "Oh, right, okay." So, but yeah, I can't wait.
I agree. Rod Burley's just sort of like messaged saying thanks for the message. He's just back from a meeting. He's helping move the X Matney on Nissan tomorrow as well.
Mhm.
So he's involved in that. There's a few V8s resting as well. So yeah, I mean you've got the entry list is sat there. It's just, I mean, just even scrolling through. I mean that is an entry list in terms of numbers that the
Not bad, is
majority of
it?
championships would be envious of.
Not
Just
bad, Johnny.
outstanding.
And there
Really,
was
really is.
more. There's a few cars that are broken that didn't make it, and a few drivers that are broken that didn't make it. So, as Peter has quite rightly said, I think next year will be as good, if not better. So,
Um, just quickly picking up, Stu Wake says, just to double check, MSVR final instructions say 25%
no,
to go.
everyone's going to get done. They need to be updated, Stuart, and everyone will get scrutinised.
Fine. Okay. That's well done for checking that, Stu. That's well spotted, mate. So, no, ignore that. MSVR finals, it is the Classic Touring Car finals, basically saying everybody is going to be. So, well done. Thank you for double checking that one. I think that kind of
We're
brings
done,
us
haven't
to, yeah, I think that brings us to, before we spontaneously combust into excitement, don't forget, of course, as you will all know, I'm sure, that Sunday you get a degree of a lie-in because nothing can start till 10 a.m. engines-wise. So that makes life a bit easier. Cross Craig says, any scrutineering on Friday?
There will be. But not on an official capacity. I think it's if the scrutineers are free, we'll get them to walk around a paddock, as it kind of normally is. But
Okay,
there's no official. No official.
fair enough. Fine. Okay. Obviously, after this one, your next event is at Croft, August 12th and 13th.
Yeah, it's a big event again. The guys at Croft have put on a huge show for us again. Side shows, fun fair, and all the other business. We take the super tours and everybody else up there. We can get in there because it's a meeting, and it's slightly more of a laid back affair. We can get people in there. It's a long way to travel, and we're going to get people in there early and try and manage that to encourage people to do the 4 or 5 hour drive it is to Croft. I think it's well worth the drive. We only go every 5 years, and I think this one will be exceptional. They've even got a new cafe for us. So
Oh yes, I saw that. Yeah,
another little
yeah.
cafe. So it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely, and we're really looking forward to it. And the more people that go, the better.
So that's 12th, 13th of August. Therefore, you and I shall be doing another show on Wednesday, the 9th of August at 8 p.m.
Sounds good to me.
Like the sound of it. That sounds good. Big Dawg, thank you so much again, mate. Everybody watching, thank you for watching. It's been some cracking numbers. Thank you for all your comments. I can tell that people are really excited about this one. I'm gutted that I'm missing it. Every time we've spoken about it, I've been more and more gutted. Lesson learned. I'm going to make sure next year that I am around. So it will be a big deal. Sam Pierce says most years would be at Spa for the 24 hours. Circumstances this year mean not, so it's Brands sat on the GP loop instead. And Ross Craig says, top work, gents. See you at the weekend. Thank you so much for that. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Caie.
And likewise, and you keep yourself safe.
I will do, mate. I'll keep on the water for a little bit longer, and we'll get there. But everybody, have a wonderful time on the weekend at Brands Hatch. It's going to be an amazing event for you, and I can't wait to hear all about it from you all with envy in my eyes. But have a safe one as well, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Cheers, Stu.